Hi, I'm going to do a sequence of EFT tapping around issues of food fear, food insecurity, food cravings, as applied to this time of quarantine or staying home. So here we go. I'm not going to explain it. Look it up if you want to, but I will go through the tapping points first. So we're going to start with the karate chop point right here and do a phrase 3 times. That phrase always ends in, I still deeply love and completely accept myself. That's a one-time thing at the beginning. Then we'll go through, we'll do the crown. We'll do this point on the inner eyebrow. You're kind of hitting the bone like not at the bridge, but and not too far inside, kind of in between. And then the bone outside here, right directly across from the eye. And then directly across from the center of the eye at the top of the cheekbone. And then right here between nose and upper lip. And then between lower lip and chin, right there. And then that lovely circle at the end of the clavicle, right below that, or just a little bit below that. Next is what's called the bra strap point. So you just about an armpit, hand's width from under the armpit and where the bra strap typically is for women. Some of us don't need to wear bras. And then we'll just come back around to the crown. Okay, so here we go. Even though I can see myself being scared about food scarcity, craving food, wanting things that I don't have access to right now, I still deeply love and completely accept myself. Even though I can see myself feeling scared about food scarcity, wanting things that aren't available now, feeling cravings for food, I still deeply love and completely accept myself. Even though I catch myself being worried about food scarcity and wanting things I don't have access to and craving food right now, I still deeply love and completely accept myself. It's so easy to get scared about food when basic security things aren't in place. It's the most natural thing to be anxious about food now. Gosh, things could be going well and we can just crave food. Or the smallest things can be wrong and we can reach for food to make it better. What human being doesn't know that? I'm just going to get okay with my food cravings. I don't want to judge it. I know that I just make more trouble when I feel that it's problematic or wrong. And I know that I'm not the only human being on the planet right now wanting that ease of just going to the market to add that one more thing to make the day's eating perfect, or to have more, or to buy a treat. And I know some people actually live with food scarcity all the time. And it's a privilege to even have this sort of problem. And it's okay for me to be in a place where there's less food, or I feel like food rationing is wise, or it feels like what I like to have isn't here. Or it's okay that I project a future where I may not very soon have fresh vegetables, and that it might be the safest thing for me or for me not to expose others potentially to do without. And I'm willing to be upset about that. I'm willing to panic about food. I'm willing to feel the cravings come up constantly. I'm willing to watch myself crave. I actually like going without food. Even when I have plenty, I like hours without food. I'm going to get okay with the time without food now, without projecting a future where that keeps going or where it can't be interrupted. I'd actually like to be still with wanting food without reaching for food to fill it up. And I'd like to know it's a choice not to reach for food, because it is, because there is still food here. There's plenty of food. There's so much food. It's okay with me to feel the craving. I'm willing. Constant craving there. Let's get dykey about this. Let's bring in Katie Lang. Let's make that the theme song. I like that. And I know that when I don't judge it, I'm able to just drop in. And I know that while this whole COVID-19 thing is going on, it gives me the opportunity to come close to anything I'm capable of getting scared about or worried about or grasp around or freak out about. And I'm willing. It's okay with me that food is one of the topics. I'm going to accept that. I'm going to welcome myself to the human race. And with every human being that's ever been worried about food, I'll just allow that to come in. And I've actually watched myself crave food and just sit there and breathing into it. Breathe into it. I can breathe into my cravings. I can get okay with craving. I also know that the craving dwindles if I don't fill it. I also know that I can sit with what that specific craving represents. How often is a craving for something specific? Gosh, and it's food, sex, anything, being with a human being. Any craving is really just our longing to be whole, to be in complete trust that life has us, that the universe is friendly, that we're okay, that our needs are met, that it's all going to be okay. So the craving for food is just one specific manifestation, and I'm willing to be with that manifestation, and I'm willing to be with that craving and not eat. And just let myself feel it. Just like I'm willing to be with a horrible headache and just feel it, just breathe it. Just be a human being in pain right now. And that'll pass, that'll shift, something else will come in. And I'm willing to feel my craving for source when I'm craving food, my craving to be loved, to know my essential loving nature. I'm willing to get philosophical about it because that shit's real. I'm willing to encounter it through a craving for food, through a fear that I won't have enough food. I'm willing to let air be my food sometimes. I'm willing to reach for water. I actually love going for hours without food and drinking water. This is a great time to practice that. I actually love being super conscious when I'm eating. This is a great time to practice that whatever food I've got, when it's time to eat, when I allow it, when I feel like it's right, I can taste it, I can chew it, I can be slow with it, I can come close to it, I can let it nourish me. Maybe right now canned food is the right nourishment for me. Maybe I don't need fresh food. Maybe all my concepts about what I need to eat in a healthy way and be well through food isn't even real. Or it's real in one context and not real in another. Maybe the angels can turn any food I've got into exactly what I need right now. I actually believe that. And you could even leave angels out of it. Our marvelous, fucking amazing bodies can take anything and nourish us with it. And I like to be nourished by food, and I like to be nourished by being without food, and I like to appreciate food, and I like to slow down for food. I like to put everything down and just eat. And how often do I actually do that? Maybe COVID-19 is my invitation to do that with every single bite I take, to stop eating mindlessly, to stop reaching for food when I'm in the middle of other things, to stop eating while I work instead of not working, because that craving to eat is just a craving to stop, to let go of all my concepts about what I need and what I'm supposed to do and what I'm supposed to achieve and how it's supposed to go. I can use food to love myself now during this crisis time. And I can use not eating as a time to love myself, to get present to what I am doing when I'm not eating, to come back to the moment where food isn't even required or needed, and thinking about the next meal or the next good taste or the next treat is just not, it can just be a fleeting thing. It can just be something I don't judge. And then maybe that'll be what takes me to my next actual thing to do for myself, like step outside or lean out a window or do something fun that makes me laugh or complete a piece of work that would feel good to do, or just sit with someone or be with someone, or just sit mentally with someone I don't even know. Maybe when I look at the numbers of how many people died today, I can just go sit with their loved ones and I can let myself be filled with compassion instead of food. And I'm actually willing to do that. I actually want to give some time to that. So I welcome the food cravings and I welcome food insecurity and I welcome wild thoughts about food, and I'm willing to keep bringing myself back. Back to breath. Back to letting myself feel what I feel no matter what it is. Back to dropping my judgments of myself. Pulling my preoccupation back from any attention on what I think others are doing wrong related to these things. Calling myself back to now. Locating the one thing to align with source, with love, with guidance, willing to be a human being feeling anything I'm feeling, willing to reach out to other human beings, even just mentally, opening my heart, willing to sob if I need to sob, and if I do that with no story, I know it usually happens really quickly. It's just a discharge. I'm going to be kinder to myself. I'm going to feed myself without food. I'm going to feed myself better with food. I'm going to enjoy the taste of what doesn't taste the way I want it to taste. I'm going to come close to that. I'm going to come close to chewing. I'm going to come close to nourishment. I'm going to be willing to feel what some people live with all the fucking time that I'm just experiencing during this brief period.